have 1 month left in Thailand. I have been getting so sentimental about it, but these are some of the things I've learned over the past 5-6 months of living as a teacher in Thailand. Number one thing, patience. I'm an English teacher, right? I teach phonics to 380 kindergartners. You need so much patience for this role to deal with students that young. I have students who are still throwing up, who still cry for their mom, who pee themselves in class. You have to have so much patience. Their attention spans are so small. You really have to be so adaptable in this role. But no fear, if you do not have patience, they will teach you it, no doubt. It is something that you have to force yourself into. How does patience play out for me in the classroom? One of the biggest things that I had to learn from my students is that, I think this goes for any age, when you're speaking to somebody who is a native speaker of the language that you are trying to learn, it can be so intimidating trying to talk to them. Because of course, how you say things is going to not be as correct because you're still learning. That can be really intimidating. I know for my students, when I would ask them, what is your name? What is your favorite color? They wouldn't answer me immediately, and I would just move on. I'd be like, okay, you don't want to answer? Like, okay, that's fine. I'm just gonna move on. But what was happening is they just needed to take a moment to build up the courage to answer my question. So by the time I'm like, okay, fine, and start walking away, that's when they're ready to answer. Giving your students a beat, just like that, to sit and think and really prepare themselves mentally to have the courage to answer you has been so vital for me in a classroom. Giving somebody space, giving somebody time, such a great confidence booster for them, and it has definitely helped them build up the courage and helped me learn some patience. The big thing that I don't think can be understated is resiliency. Thai culture uses a lot of indirect communication. Especially as a foreign teacher, you're going to be at the bottom of the totem pole in terms of who needs to know what. People are going to think of you last when there are events happening, going on, and something personal to you. It's just how the communication here works. There have been so many times I have put effort into being prepared for this class. I've done my lesson plan, gotten myself ready, hyped up, I'm ready to go into this class, and then I go and they're not there because there's some event or activity or whatever, and nobody told me that there wasn't going to be class. That has been so hard on my self-esteem, not being told things. It makes me feel like I'm forgotten. But you just have to go with the flow here. You have to go with the flow in the classroom when things aren't going the way that you thought it was, when an activity took longer or less time than you thought it was going to. You have to go with the flow and roll with things. And I thought of myself as an adaptable, resilient person. I've lived in Italy for 4 months. I've moved across the country in the US. I've been through a lot of significant changes in my life, and I've had to change and adapt accordingly. This has taken that to a whole nother level. Everything here is going to be a bit harder than at home. For example, I'm in an Airbnb right now, and I was checking in the other day. My host said that she left the key card for me in this specific office. And I arrive and I go to the office and I can see the key card sitting there through this glass window. Nobody is in the room, and so I go to find a security guard, and I'm trying to communicate through Google Translate. I'm here at the Airbnb. My host left my key card in that room. No one is in that room. Where is the person who would be in charge of this? Can you give me that key? Anyways, it goes into this whole 30-minute fiasco of I have 4 people running around me talking in Thai, and I'm like, it's right there. The key card is right there. But nothing here is going to be easy and simple like that. Nothing is going to be. Got so frustrated. But you cannot lose your cool here. You have to have that patience and that resiliency in situations like this when you want to get frustrated and you want to yell and you want to be upset. It's only going to make the situation so much worse. I feel like a hypocrite talking about some of these things because it's definitely something that I'm still struggling with and growing as well. But this all comes down to a perspective shift. Instead of looking at something as upsetting, I've been trying really hard to look at it as funny. In this situation, I have all these people running around me, talking in Thai, ignoring me, when my key card is right there and I just need them to hand it to me. I try looking at it as something that's funny. I'm just standing here, this little girl with all her heavy bags, people are running around me speaking a language that I don't know, when my key card is right there. Oh my gosh, it's really kind of funny actually. Instead of being upset and being like, this is the most annoying thing ever, saying to yourself, oh, this is kind of funny. Especially with people too in the workplace, if somebody gets on your nerves, in life in general, if somebody annoys you, look at it as funny instead of upsetting. and that is a huge game changer in how well you handle things. Of course, you want to be open to new experiences, new foods, new cultures, all that. You have to be open if you're going to travel like this, especially for an extended period of time. The big thing for me that may sound really small has been changing how open I am physically. Notice when you come here, people don't stand with their arms crossed like this. People don't stand like this. They stand with their arms down and straight, an open posture, as opposed to being closed off like how Americans stand a lot. I'll just stand like this in the classroom naturally. My students will be like, oh, and think that they're in trouble because this is something that you would really only do here if you're really mad or upset, not just casually standing closed off like that. Physically opening up my body, shoulders back, my arms, keeping my arms down in situations where I want to just like hold myself or I'm uncomfy and I just want to cross my arms has made me be so much more open mentally as well. That physical shift in my body, it opens up my mind to handle some cultural differences better. Another big thing is being low maintenance. I'm a pageant girl, okay? I don't consider myself to be high maintenance, but I am maintenance. I'm not low maintenance, I'm not high maintenance, but I am maintenance. I went backpacking for 10 days in Chiang Rai and Chiang Mai. Of course, I only had it's backpacking, right? You have a backpack and that's it. I went a little bit crazy, having to rewear some outfits, having to rewear some dirty clothes. But if you're really gonna make the most of it and see the most of what you can see here, you can't be so materialistic. You can't have all your belongings with you. You have to really dig down deep and be low maintenance. I don't know how to put this into eloquent words because it is hard for me to let some things go. You have to let yourself be dirty, feel dirty, sleep in a tent, sleep without air conditioning sometimes. It turns into really amazing magical experiences that if you were like, no, I have to have it this way for me to enjoy, you're not going to be able to experience all of those things that I've been able to do here. It takes some practice and it takes some getting used to. It is so worthwhile in the end. Language has been hard. My language is very tonal. That's very, very different for English because I feel like you can say the same word in English in different tones, but it's still the same word. Here, the word changes based on the tone that it is said in. And it's also sounds that are not easy to imitate for a native English speaker. Learning the language here has been very, very difficult. Definitely say if you're going to come for an opportunity like Teach Abroad through CIEE, get $200 off of your program fee with the link below. It would be helpful to try to learn some Thai before you come here. That way you can get a little bit more used to it when you're here instead of trying to learn from scratch like I did. So many other ways I've grown and changed and adapted and evolved as an individual since being here that I am still trying to find the words to say. These are some of the things I have learned since being here in Thailand. I've probably changed in more ways and grown in more ways than I can even be aware of right now. So part 2 to come. But I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you some perspective as to what it is like to move to Thailand, to teach abroad. I hope you do too. Use my link. And I will talk to you later. Bye!